everyone, I am Ramya Devi from Department of Biomedical Engineering, and today I am going to present on healthcare product development, specifically focusing on post-market surveillance, also known as PMS. This topic is extremely important because the real test of any healthcare product being after it enters the market. And next is introduction. And in today's modern healthcare system, we rely heavily on safe, effective, and high quality medical products. Many people think that once a drug or device is approved, the process is complete, but actually, approval is only the beginning. Post market surveillance continues throughout the life of the product to ensure that it remains safe in real world conditions. And next is definitions. And definition is post-market surveillance is a continuous monitoring process carried out after a drug, vaccine, biologic or device is approved. It is also referred to as phase 4 clinical research. The main goal is to detect any issues that were not discovered during clinical trials because trials are limited in size and durations, but the real world is not. And purpose of PMS includes detecting rare or delayed adverse effects and ensuring long-term product qualities and performance, identifying drug interactions or misuse, protecting public health and continuous improving safety. Basically, PMS ensures that what's work in theory also works in practice. And next one is drug development life cycle. Healthcare product development goes through several stages: preclinical research, clinical trials, regulatory approval, and the comes phase 4, and which is post-market surveillance. This final phase allows us to learn how the product behaves in the general populations beyond controlled environments. And next is, if the slide visuals reference the complete life cycle of a drugs or healthcare product, showing exactly where PMS fits in after approval and drugs with spurs uses. And scope of PMS covers all the types of healthcare products, drugs, vaccines, medical devices, biologics. It involves multiple stakeholders, regulators, manufacturing, healthcare professionals, and even patients. It relies heavily on real world evidence, which is far more diverse compared to clinical trial data. And type of PMS studies is, there are there are several types of PMS studies: passive surveillance, active surveillance, targeted studies, registries, and observational studies, which track patients over long period, is called as a registration and observational studies. Target studies, which focusing on specific safety concerns, and active surveillance are where organizing proactively collected data, and passive surveillance is where people voluntarily report adverse effective effects. And PMS method overview is, the main method used in PMS includes spontaneous reporting system, prescription event monitoring, and cohort and case control studies, electronic healthcare records, phase 4 clinical trials. Each method has its own strength and helps build a complete safety profiles. And next is spontaneous reporting system. These systems rely on healthcare professionals and even patients to report adverse drugs reactions. Example include FDA Health Watch, WHO Vigibase, and Adderall Vigilance. They are excellent for detecting rare side effects, but they suffer from underreporting, which is a major limiter. And next is prescription event monitoring, PEM, called as collect safety data from patients who are prescribed a new medicines. This method is helps identifying patterns in real world use and is especially popular in the UK and Europe. And next is registration and observation studies. Registry stacks patients with specific disease or those using specific drugs or vaccines. These studies are ideal for identifying long-term or rare adverse events. The famous example of vaccine adverse event reporting systems. And next slide, role of electronic health records. EHR contains large amount of patients' data. They helps identifying trend, detecting safety signals, and analyzing real-world treatment outcomes. The modern technology such as AI and data mining makes EHR based surveillance faster and more accurate. And next is important of product development. PMS provides real world validations manufacturing many adjust dosage, update labels or add warning based on PMS findings. It also helps improve policies, guidance and overall patient care. And next one is regulatory role. Regulators like FDA, EMA, WHO, CDSCO in India closely monitoring PMS activities. Companies must submit periodic safety update reports, and if major risks are found, regulators may require additional studies or even recall products. Real world example is some real world examples where PMS plays a crucial role includes Vioxx, COVID-19 and several drugs where PMS resulting is adjusted dosage guidelines or additional safety warnings. And next one is challenges overview. Even though PMS is important, there are several challenges: poor reporting, low quality data, difficulty in proving causality, and lack of resources, ethical issues, and global difference. Let's look at these challenges one by one. And challenge one is next. Challenge 1 is only 5 to 10 percentage of adverse events are actually reported. Reasons including lack of awareness, lack of times, or fear of being blamed. This delays the deductions of serious data. And next is challenge 2 data quality. Report may be incomplete, inaccurate, or inconsistent. This market is difficult to evaluate severity, causality, and over reliability. Standardized reporting systems are essential. And next is challenge 3 causality assessment. It is very difficult to prove that a particular drug caused an adverse event. Many factors such as illness, patient histories, and other medications can influence outcomes. Advanced statistical tools are required. And next one. And challenge 4 is resource and infrastructure gaps. Many development countries lack strong PMS systems. There may be limited funding, weak hospital reporting system, and inadequate coordinates between regulators and healthcare providers. And challenge 5 is global and ethical issues. PMS regulations differ between countries, making global monitoring and more monitoring difficulties, and cross-border tracking of product safety is challenging. Additionally, maintaining patient privacy and informed consent is essential. And next one is improving PMS system. To improve PMS, promote digital and mandatory reporting, conduct more training for healthcare workers, strengthen global data sharing platforms like Wikibase, and encourage public participations. That steps can make PMS more effective. And next one is future trends. Future trend is artificial intelligence for easily signal detection, and big data analytic for real-time monitoring, wearable devices providing continuous healthcare data, and better global collaborations. These advancements will make PMS more accurate and efficient. Okay, and our conclusion is to conclude post-market surveillance is an essential part of healthcare product development. It ensures long-term safety, protects the public, and improves the quality of healthcare. As technology advances, PMS will become even more powerful and reliable. Thank you. And if you have any doubt, you have to ask in comment sections. Thank you.